Hello and a warm welcome to our Year 11 Parents and Student Forum. We're really sorry that you can't be with us this evening as we would normally have had, but some information we're going to be going through. Hopefully you will find really useful. Lots of information on our website. I'd just like to start with a big thank you that since March the 23rd, during that long lockdown period, both students and parents were hugely supportive of everything we were doing at the school and the work that was coming in and the hard work behind the scenes. We really thank you for all those efforts. After the May half term, when we had some what were Year 10 students physically back in the building for 3 days a week, they've really made some progress in terms of some of the gaps that we'd identified, so that we're able to start September and hitting the ground running. Thank you ever so much for that support. Now this year continues to provide us with many challenges, least of all maintaining solid routines and making sure that we do everything we can to avoid any COVID outbreak in this school. Once again, it's thank you for Year 11 who have followed those routines to the letter of the law that has enabled us to stay fully open, and that is very much where we want to be throughout this term and into next year. It goes without saying that attendance is going to be more important than ever this year. So every day really does count. The efforts that are going on behind the scenes in terms of all the efforts the students are making to keep up to date with homework, even though they're off with an odd day here or there, is really appreciated. Mr. Bridgman is going to speak this evening as well, and when he has finished, we hope you find that the rest of the activities on the website are really useful. Please do not hesitate to get in contact with us should you have any questions over the coming days or weeks.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so we've got a lot of information to give you. This is parents and students. The aim of the game, give you as much information as we can so that we can all work together. We've learned that there is only one way for young people, Year 11s, to do well, and that is if we all know what is going on. So the aim of the game, share as much as we can. We can see here our run in between now and Christmas, okay? So we will be giving out our first mock timetables with a proper exam assembly just before October half term. We are expecting revision to maybe have started already if some students are attending session 6. We are looking to revise as hard as we can, prep as best as we can, and sit those exams in a normal, formal way to rehearse that exam practice. We would have had them back in June. COVID obviously stopped that from happening. Also, nicely in bold, the 12th of November, please get that in your diaries and calendars now. That is when we have our sixth form open evening. So again, we would have invited you in for that. However, it will probably be a virtual evening. We did an open evening for Year 6s last week. It's very successful. And that is where we want to give you loads of information about what it would be like to be a sixth former here, because we are very proud of our sixth form. Okay, and we want you to know about that. And that mock window, when we're not in exams, we'll all be in lessons, so it's a normal school day timings wise, but as you see, when you get your timetables you'll know more. This slide, I appreciate it's probably too small or hard to see. This one is to be printed and put on the fridge at home, please. This is your year ahead. Okay, we've got everything on there from when learning profiles and predicted grades will come home, to parents' evenings, which again might be virtual, sort of one-to-one meetings with teachers, last days, first exams, all of it is on there, ready to be ticked off as we go down, just to help us organise and there be no unknowns about what's coming. There are a few sort of caveats, if you like, with some of the dates. Things like the first exam. Right now we're hearing rumours that the exams might get pushed back a couple of weeks. Okay. If that happens, we will obviously communicate that with you guys. If results day changes, again, you will hear from us and we will email everybody to make sure we're all on the same page. You'll definitely need the learning profile, so around Christmas time, once we've got those mocks in, we've marked them, we're going to be probably looking for a predicted grade, which you'll then need to apply for sixth forms and colleges around. So all some really important stuff to look out for. So we'll start giving out some more information. If you're a student, you've probably used to this. It's probably been around a while in your lessons and it's no problem. For parents out there, if you were old school and had A, B, C's and D's like myself, it is now a new language. They are graded differently. Okay, and this simple conversion chart tells us that we are 1 to 9 with a U grade still possible, and how that levels out. Lots of people seem to think, I've got to get a C, I've got to get a C. Well, that is a grade 4 or above now. Okay, and that's where we want to be looking to push our students to. They all get target grades and they'll be on the learning profiles, as well as our usual grit and zest, which you'll be familiar with. On the profiles will indeed be a predictor. So not necessarily a current grade, but a prediction of where teachers think they'll be come the summer. Obviously, if we start having gaps in attendance at school, that can alter. So it is a guessing game, but our teachers are trained, they moderate work, they share work across the trust to be moderated further. We get it as accurate as we can. Now, I've mentioned COVID. This is the last slide before we move on to the next sections. COVID has impacted this year 11 summer more than anybody else. It's a stressful year. It's hard. It's tough. They're now throwing in changes left, right and centre. These changes are coming out literally every couple of days. I think PE's was on Sunday night. We are aware of them. We are getting told them. And our subject leaders are changing curriculums, mapping out the year ahead to react to them as best they can. And hopefully sharing those changes in class. Okay. For example, PE, I won't run through them all, but PE, for example, now you did have to do 3 sports, it's now only 2. The art and textiles, normally there would be a massive 10-hour exam in the summer. That's now been removed. Coursework's still there, they still have to do the project work, etc. But that big exam has gone. And so we will change our mock timetables to match those things. Some of the more complicated ones like geography and history and English literature, still the same number of papers, but the topics you can pick within them are changing. The best thing to do on the website below is to scroll down, find the subjects, read the information the subject head teachers have given you, and email them if you've got any questions. Okay? Now, that comes to the end of video 1. Please watch them ideally in order and then come back to them. They'll be there all year. Myself and Mr. Parsons will see you again at the end before we set you off and let you read everything else. Thank you.